Okay, here is my review of Rome Total War. This is just going to be the beginning of a long series of videos. In Rome Total War, you get to pick from three families: the House of Julii, the House of Brutii, and the third one escapes me at the moment. But each one has a responsibility. Like the House of Julii, the one that I'm playing here, the blue, is supposed to help the Romans conquer Carthage and Egypt. Here right now, they're trying to unite Sicily under Roman control, hiring some mercenaries right now, and then gonna march them over to that city. The other family is responsible for handling the Gauls, Spain, and Britannia, laying siege to the city, and the other families responsible for Greece and the Middle East. Yeah, Rome Total War is a very historical game. I mean, it shows detail of each old building, unit. Like right here, there's a description of shrine to Venus, Saturn, and all that. And each unit, each building has its own unique benefit. And just recruiting some units, so there are some people guarding that city, not just one unit of cavalry. And going back to the capital city. Can also build and train units there. You can adjust the mini-map. Having it zoomed in on the mini-map makes this game a lot easier, so you can see which color has which territory. There's the Gauls moving in the north. And at each turn you get like a construction report, a recruitment report, a diplomatic report saying that all three families and the Senate are now at war with the Greek cities. Gonna build a market, or at least a trading post, not a market yet. Port. Yeah, at the beginning of the game it's best to focus on economy, not so much military. All this by open the city so don't have to go through all the trouble of a siege. Time to assault and automate it, which will save time, but a lot easier to automate it too. I mean, your generals are a lot better than the other generals. Breakdown of the battle. And each time you capture a city, you have three options: occupy, enslave, or exterminate. Depending on, like, you see that yellow face there? That shows the level of civil order in the city. If it's red and stuff like that, then you might have to pick one of the other two, but since occupation of the city doesn't change public order too much, it's easier just to occupy it. Gotta repair the stuff from the battle, which is only gotta fix up the walls. And the turn. Yeah, the turn-based games are a lot easier. You get more time to think of what you're doing instead of doing the instantaneous gameplay. Creek City's wanting to cease fire, not yet. And then the Roman Senate keeps on sending you orders and stuff like that. Each family has to do a certain order to keep favor in the Senate. Gotta capture this Carthage city and unite Sicily. Hire mercenaries. Yes, some of these mercenaries are pretty expensive compared to what little benefit they do have, but it just helps increase the numbers, so gonna do that for the time being. Put them on the boats and send them to take that city. It's best to have construction going on at all times if you have the budget, so your cities advance so much faster. Yeah, the other families haven't started with the conquest of Gaul or Grecia. Oops, looked like one of the Carthaginian spies tried to sabotage something. Yeah, look like I caught him. Yeah. Some of these reports that they have are pretty interesting, detailing what happens to the spies back then. The financial report doing alright. Built up a port and trade post. Later on in the game, when the Romans have dozens and dozens of cities, those reports become a lot longer and more tedious to go through. The green space is how much room you have to go till your unit can't go any farther. I'm going to send them to the port. I'm going to keep construction going on, focus on the economy, and retrain some other units there. Oh, and when I moved those troops out, the city order came down quite a lot. You saw the red face there, so I'm going to have to lower the taxes and recruit another unit to maintain order. Then everyone else's turn. Naval clash. Oops. Looks like I'm going to lose that one. We're about to... Yeah. The ship didn't make it to the port soon enough. Oh, I didn't totally do too much damage. Blockading one of my ports, that's alright. Lowers economy, but I can easily recruit a navy and beat that small unit, that small fleet. Tag neutral faction, yes. Oops, not going to make it this turn either. Next turn, lay siege. Oh, and good time back then, you need to maintain public health, or else the Black Plague and all kinds of stuff, which will, if your cities get too bad of health, and the population drops, and the economy drops, and then you just have a big mess. So instead of focusing on military, focus on the economy and sanitation. Merge the units. And recruit a navy, so next turn be able to stop the blockade.